a large mouth, and a protruding buck teeth. When she first sang in public in a New Jersey nightclub, she tried to pull down her upper lip to cover her protruding teeth. She tried to act glamorous, and the result, she was heading for failure. However, there was a man in this nightclub who heard her sing and thought she had talent. Look, he told her bluntly, I've been watching your performance and I know what it is you are trying to hide. You are afraid of your teeth. The girl was embarrassed, but the man continued, what of it? Is there any particular crime in having bulk teeth? Don't try to hide them. Open your mouth, and the audience will love you when they see you are not ashamed. Besides, he said, those teeth you are trying to hide may make you fortune. She took his advice and forgot about her teeth. From that time on, she thought only about her audience and not about her teeth. She opened her mouth wide and sang with such gusto and enjoyment that she became a top star in movies and radio. Other comedians tried to copy her. Let's not imitate others. Let's find ourselves and be ourselves. The dancer that dances without the knowledge of being watched dances best. Welcome to Success Digest, where we analyze and discuss those ingredients necessary for your financial independence and enable you to live a life of abundance. My name is Kayo Deneraito, the publisher of Success Digest video series, together with the journals and the CEO of Kenneth Consult Limited, a financial service firm that is based in London. I'm discussing with you today on the topic, keeping up with the Joneses. Keeping up with the Joneses. To keep up with the Joneses is an idiom meaning to try and match your neighbors in social status and material possessions, often by spending money you don't have to acquire things that they have. It is an act of comparison of oneself to one's neighbor, where the neighbor serves as a benchmark for social class or the accumulation of material wealth. Comparing yourself to others and feeling the need to acquire the same thing they have, like expensive cars or clothes, is an act of inferiority complex, believing they are better than you. It originated from the 1913 comic strip, which features the McGuinness family trying to match the glamorous lifetime of their neighbor, the Joneses. As I said earlier, it is either an act of inferiority complex or act of adoration to try and match your neighbor in social status and material possession. Good if it is adoration, for it encourages motivation and willingness to succeed in life, but bad if it is inferiority complex. I'm focusing on the inferiority complex aspect of it today. We need to find ourselves and be ourselves. Until we find ourselves, we'll be developing only 10% of our latent mental abilities, leaving the rest 90% untapped, meaning we are only 10% awake. We are making use of only a small part of our physical and mental resources, which means that human individuals thus live far below their limits, possessing powers of various sorts which we habitually fail to use. You and I have such abilities. So let's not waste a second worrying because we are not like other people. Instead, discover where your strength lies and develop it and become the genius that God made you. You are something new in this world. Never before, since the beginning of time, has there ever been anybody exactly like you. And never again, throughout all the ages to come, will there ever be anybody exactly like you. You are beautifully and wonderfully made. The science of genes informs us that you are what you are likely as a result of 24 chromosomes contributed by your father and 24 chromosomes contributed by your mother. These 48 chromosomes comprise everything that determines what you inherit. In each chromosome, there may be anywhere from scores to hundreds of genes, and with a single one, in some cases, is able to change the whole life of an individual. Should it happen that your mother and your father met again and mated, There is only one chance in 300,000 billion that the person who is specifically you will be born. The fact that no two individuals have same fingerprint lays credence to what I'm talking to you about. I will say it again. Discover yourself, develop yourself, and become the genius that you are. But do not imitate the Joneses around you who has done what you failed to do. Trying to be what you are not in the spirit of keeping up with the Joneses have been the downfall of many. This was what happened to an author who came to New York inspiring to become an actor. He had what he thought it was a brilliant idea, a shortcut to success, and this was to study how the famous actors at the time got their effects. He thought of imitating each one of them and make himself into a shiny, triumphant combination of all of them. He wasted many years of his life before he woke up to becoming himself and realized that he couldn't possibly be anyone else. Not learning from this silly and absurd idea, he again did the same thing to become a writer. He was going to borrow the ideas of a lot of other writers and put them all in one book, a book that will have everything. He spent a year to get many books incorporating their ideas into his manuscript. This limitation of other men's ideas resulted in synthetic and dull manuscript that no publisher was ready to touch. He ended up tossing a year's work into the waste basket. He started all over again, but this time he made up his mind to be himself with all its faults and limitations. He wrote a textbook on public speaking out of his own experiences, out of his own observation and conviction as a speaker and a teacher of speaking. He learned a lesson from the statement of Sir Walter Raleigh, the professor of English literature at Oxford University back in 1904, who said, "I can't write a book commensurate with Shakespeare, but I can write a book by myself." I subscribe to Sir Walter Raleigh's principle, and I know I've told somebody that I'm not speaking as a Cicero, I'm not speaking as Socrates or a Pluto, but I speak as Kayode Enright, a Yoruba man from Nigeria and an Ekiti man for that matter. The author who finally discovered himself and wrote as himself was the internationally best-selling author of How to Win Friends and Influence People, Dale Carnegie. A copycat can never be like the original, for the world has given the glory to the originator. The world is yet to see another Mother Teresa, another Mahatma Gandhi, another Martin Luther King, another Nelson Mandela, not even another Michael Jackson. So do not try to be one, but be yourself. I said earlier that human individuals live far below their limits. We possess powers of various sorts which we habitually fail to use because many are yet to discover themselves, and out of those who discover themselves, many fail to develop themselves along their area of strength, but rather keep up with the Joneses to other professions where they believe will bring them greater financial remuneration. Here, they are met with friction, frustration, and idleness because they have no grace and ability to perform in that area at the expense of their own expertness. Being idle comes with its own disadvantage, and nature hates idleness in all its forms. Nature gives continuous life only to those elements and skills and talent which are in use and take away those that are unused. Tie up a ham, for instance, take it out of use, and it will soon atrophy and become lifeless. Reverse the order. Give that ham more than normal use like a blacksmith does all day. The ham grows strong. Power grows out of constant application and use, and this goes also for your knowledge that has not been used. A walking encyclopedia of knowledge becomes a moron if the knowledge is not put to use, particularly in the development of mankind. Let's not imitate others, particularly for social status and the accumulation of material wealth, but let us find ourselves and be ourselves. How do you discover yourself and then develop yourself? This is done through your inner intrinsic concentration of all your efforts towards the achievement of a goal, which is prosperity. It involves the full dedication of your inner intrinsic efforts for the expression of your prosperity, the consecration of your today that will become basis upon which your future hangs upon and find its expression. It is necessary to concentrate the present time for the future to have basis to hang upon. There are dreamers who does not concentrate today but expect glory in the future. For any future glory not to exclude you, there must be present concentration to be done. It may appear as suffering at first, but you will endure it when your mindset is focused on the coming future glory that is accrued. This expression of your prosperity to have meaning must cover all aspects of your life, including knowledge acquisition via academics and other means of acquisition to moral life, spiritual life, and financial lives. Miss in one and you will miss in all. Who is to qualify for this achievement must be an accurate thinker. That is a subject that has comprehensively been covered by one of my previous videos. Nevertheless, I will briefly mention it that an accurate thinker must be he who separates facts from mere information. Furthermore, an accurate thinker must separate facts into two classes, namely important and unimportant. In other words, relevant and irrelevant. All facts that will lead you to the attainment of your goal are relevant, and those facts which you cannot use are unimportant or irrelevant. It is mainly the failure of some of us to make and separate these distinctions that which account for the shams which separates so widely people who appear to have equal ability and who have had equal opportunities and perhaps less ability to their peers, but who are achieving far greater success. To this end, you must avoid time wasters and noise makers. For if your facts emanate from such group of people, you will flounder and go down to defeat in a bottomless ocean of false conclusions. He who stays in the company of the wise will become wise. No matter what happens, always be yourself and not try to keep up with the Joneses. A dancer dances best when he is not aware that he is being watched, for he or she shall be himself or herself. Nobody is so miserable as he who longs to be somebody or something other than the person that he is in body and soul. It brings misery, frustration by trying to fit yourself into a pattern to which you do not conform. It causes neurosis, psychosis, and complexes. Those who try to be celebrities fail to realize that the public has already had the flavor of these celebrities. Now, it wants something else. You cannot get anywhere by being a copycat. Take your hair down and be completely frank and natural. Nobody wants a phony. Nobody ever wants a counterfeit coins. Time will not permit me to continue. But nevertheless, if you are interested in this important topic or any of my previous videos, please feel free to contact us at Kenny's Consult Limited and allow us to discuss with you more enlightenments and ingredients needed for becoming financially independent. We are the financial experts that specializes in financial management. For we will invest your fund on financial instruments for you at stock exchange and manage it for you thereafter. Let us continue to travel together on this journey of success to the path of wisdom. To be informed, to be transformed, and not to be informed is to be deformed. I'm still Kayode Enrighton, and I can be reached on 07427942000 or 07951775255. Better still, visit our website, kennisconsultlimited.uk. kennisconsultlimited.uk. If you are blessed by this video, please subscribe to it, share, and like it. Also, visit our blog on YouTube for more of our videos. Please continue to enjoy your success.
Welcome to Success Digest, where you obtain ingredients for your financial abundance and financial wellness and be fully financially independent. Let us travel together on this our journey of success through the path of wisdom. To be informed is to be transformed. Not to be informed is to be deformed. Success Digest leads you to financial independence.